So shall we say action? Do you want to say action?
Action.
Hiding my to the Kaiako podcast. My leaders for leaders being pod to you. Here's what we have for you.
Kia ora. Welcome to another episode of the Kaiako podcast.
G'day,
Sam's-
I'm back. Yep.
Good to see you, Sam. Sam's
I
back
haven't
joining us
actually
again.
left since the last episode because we're filming these back to back. So
Yes. I'm glad to have you back too. What have you been up to since the last episode?
since the last episode, absolutely nothing because that was only about 2 minutes ago.
Yes. That's quite...
It's absolutely nothing. What have you done in the last 2 minutes?
I just read an email.
Yeah. My automatic reply, was it?
Yeah, your automatic reply.
Yeah.
It's the only emails I get these days.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here for another episode.
It's the same cup of tea from last time as well.
Yes. We're going to talk to Jessa. And Jessa's going to introduce herself, so we don't have to. Let's head over there now. Welcome along, Jessa, to the podcast. Great to have you here. Would you like to... Yeah, thank you for coming. Would you like to first up introduce yourself to everybody who's listening or watching?
Well, kia ora everyone. My name is Jessa Gardner. I am a youth leader, been in St John for coming up 14 years now, I believe, and also sit on the International Youth Advisory Network as the New Zealand representative. And I'm here today to talk about my role as the National Portfolio Lead for young people within the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Network.
Awesome. So I guess first up, we'll just get straight into it and ask what the network is and what it does.
Amazing. So the network was first founded in 2017, and it focuses on how we can address concerns or areas around diversity, equity and inclusion, and how those concerns can be advocated and represented within the whole organisation. So it works with those within the network. We have members who have just volunteer roles, or some of our members also have paid and volunteer roles as well. And the network itself is within a volunteer capacity. And we look at those concerns or areas for advocation and see what we can do nationwide to be able to really represent all areas of diversity and inclusion and to make sure it's equitable for all.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds like great work. Who's represented on the network and who do you represent in particular?
Amazing. So we've got quite a few range of areas in which the network represents. So that includes women, young people, and young people's my key focus, mature workers, access, and access isn't often talked about as much as it should be, but that goes into access of buildings. Are there ramps? Are there ways, if it's on a multi-storey building, the ways that people can get to those, or access to types of like neurodiversity, access to documents that are able to help neurodiversity learners learn as well. And then there's also Māori and Pacifica, the faith, ethnic minorities, rainbow and our Asian representation as well.
Awesome. Good wide range there. Would you like to speak more to what your role is and what you do?
Amazing. So the young people portfolio is really interesting because it captivates those within the youth program and young people within the organisation in general. So historically, up until about a year ago, it used to be called the Youth Portfolio, but we decided to give it a little bit of a revamp so that it represented young people, because I think people can agree that when we say youth within St John, we automatically think of St John Youth or youth program or cadets. And we really wanted to emphasise that the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Council represented all St John therefore using young people, incorporated the youth program, but also incorporates those involved within other areas, whether that be fundraising or on operations or our comm centres. So the young people all over St John and in all roles. And so within the portfolio, we look at how they can be advocated for and receiving opportunities or progression pathways for them to be able to exceed and excel and feel included within the organisation. And I think another really interesting part for the young people portfolio is that we are like drivers of change. So it's really interesting to work with the other portfolio members and leaders and their projects to see how young people can help drive the change and champion for that success. So we've got a real opportunity to excel and show how awesome our young people are in this space.
That's awesome. And is there anything noteworthy or mentionable that you're working on or working towards at the moment?
Oh, there's lots, honestly, Simon. We've got quite a list going on at the moment. So at the beginning of each year, we start for a yearly tracker and a timeline and what we want to achieve. And then every three months, we formally update through a whole network hui. But every month we discuss it with our diversity, equity and inclusion lead, John Ray. And so it's things at the moment, the young people portfolio has advocation. So I try focus on I call it the double AE theory. And it looks at awareness, advocation and education. So in the awareness space, it's how within the network, we can all work together to raise the awareness of young people and the amazing things that they achieve. And in that, it is championing success. So talking about the achievements of the young people and sharing it within the whole organisation rather than just focusing the comms at the likes of youth program social medias or all of that, getting those comms, but also making it known through Yammer, which is our internal, I guess it's like an internal Facebook, really. And that's for the more corporate side as well. So they're able to see what the young people are achieving or doing those types of wee bits to raise awareness. The other one is advocation. So one of the biggest projects is the NIAN. So it's the National Youth Advisory Network. And it's in the middle of being made. So it's completely new. But it's for those aged between 16 and 24 years old. And they will report to Priory Board, which is just below chapter. So you've got, and also to chapter to be completely honest. So they'll be able to have a direct say into the governance and day-to-day runnings of St John by providing that youth voice. So able to look and reflect on how that might affect young people or what issues are within our communities that impact young people and how we are engaged within the organisation and how the organisation can engage with young people. So the National Youth Advisory Network is about to be released for applications. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, then definitely do apply and keep an eye out. And again, we'll be pushing that through comms over the next couple of months. And also for all those in the advocation space over the age of 16 years, we're trying to aim to have St John email access. And that's to be able to reach things like our Learn at St John platform, where there's modules to be able to complete, including a diversity, equity and inclusion competency course and rainbow awareness, and also cultural competencies on there too. And it's just at the moment something young people aren't able to access because of that St John access to their emails. So that's a big one for us too. They're big projects, but we're working hard to be able to do it and have to obviously make sure we're looking after that legal HR side as well. So lots of learning personally for me in that space too. It's been really interesting. Another one is education. So hopefully being able to grant the email access will help for Learn at St John to be able to be used by young people. And also we're hoping to distribute some young people like educational flyers. And they would be like a once a month, might spotlight a few young people, but it also might just have some handy hints, or this is how to write a CV, or this is how to come polish your shoes online with so and so, and have some guest speakers, or have some of our corporate members talk about roles that you may not know that much information about, but might be a career option. So it's a lot of word vomit just there, but there's a lot going on. Watch the space, definitely.
Definitely sounds like a great space to watch and lots going on. Is there any tie-in for youth leaders and how they might like to get involved or do some good for the youth of the organisation?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're always after some people to help with projects and wee tasks and things if they would like to. So, I mean, especially in the advocation space, if you've got amazing young people that are doing amazing things, then please flick myself or John Rand email about that so we can share their story far and wide throughout all the channels. And when Nyan applications come out, it'd be incredible if we could shoulder tap or distribute it through divisions and districts to be able to get that representation up. And just involving, I guess, having those conversations with young people, involve them in decisions, or discuss if there's something you want to roll out in a division, make sure to communicate and have the kōrero with the young people to see if that's something that will actually be effective, or what their views are. Because I think, advocation and awareness is some of the biggest ways that we can help to empower the young people.
No, that's awesome. Awesome work. Finally, anything that you'd just like to put out as a general message?
The email inbox is always open. So if you have any questions, or if you've got any suggestions, then absolutely please flick through an email, and encourage the young people to be able to do that as well, and any other leaders who you may think might be able to help out or have some ideas as well. So the email inbox is open, and always happy to answer any questions or help with anything, or if you've got any district HOEs, youth councils, then more than happy to come and speak and see how we can inspire the young people to lead some of these changes too.
Awesome. No, well, that's great. Thanks for coming on and joining, telling us about what you do and what the network does. It's been fantastic to have you and hear about it.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing to be able to discuss it.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, you join us back here in the podcast studio, also known as the Princess Mary Lecture Theatre. Sam, very informative chat, would you not agree?
Absolutely, some good learning points to take away from there.
And if you do have any questions for Jessa, feel free to send them through.
Yes. And we've also got some further information about diversity and inclusion on our podcast website, which again will be a link somewhere in this video. Also,
you can look on our Facebook page, or on Heartbeat, there's an entire diversity and inclusion page. My poor English coming out again.
Yes, and there's a online activity you can do, and when you complete that, you'll either get a little pin or a lanyard.
Yes, I'd show you the pin, but it's over that way somewhere. You went for the lanyard, didn't you, Sam?
Yes.
As I went for the pin.
Yeah.
It's a decent size.
Yeah, it's a pin. It's about the same size as like a regional colour party type edgy thingy.
Instead of circular, it's smaller. Rectangle.
Well, sorry, then I could do for the year one then.
Yeah.
The little.
Good knowledge of pins from you there, Wilson.
All over it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next time.
Kaiako.
Thank you for watching the Kaiako